and how amazing it is. So I wish that I can convey the same message to all of you this morning, and that it's you leave this webinar with a better picture and a clear picture of how to use the program. Feel free to use the chat for questions that you might have. You can also interrupt and ask questions that are relevant to the information that I will be sharing, but the chat is also a great way to do it, because then at the end we can use a few minutes to go through the questions and clarify any doubts. I will share a short presentation with you just to give you background information about what we do and why we do it the way we do it. And then I will jump to the platform and show you how it works. So thank you for being here again, and let's begin. So Fiction it's a literacy resource. So we have a platform that is not to be considered a virtual library. We do a lot more than just post books to read. We have a full process where students and authors collaborate together for the creation of a book. We do it with interactive resources such as a voting system, and we also have a forum that allows students to talk to the authors, and to do that they have to practice and use and implement different type of skills that I will show you today. So why do we do it this way? We wanted to shift from the traditional way of exposing students to books and to master the language. So instead of bringing books to the class and ask them to read, we bring the readers into the creation of the book along with the author. So it's more interactive, it's more engaging. They are more willing to participate on these type of activities that I will show you today, because they feel like they are part of the process, and it's more meaningful for them if we do it this way. So once they create the book, then the book gets to be published into our virtual library, and they get to enjoy that book over and over again. By bringing the author into this interaction, we work on these authentic connections and this meaningful type of work that we offer. The teacher and the student is already there. You know, your teachers, we have students, and by bringing the author, we make sure that this interaction it's authentic and it has a lot of relevance for the students. They don't talk to someone they don't know. We post videos of the authors on the platform. They get to see their faces, they get to interact with them, they get to talk to the authors on the forum. So these authors are very much real, and they get to talk to them, and they get to share ideas and opinions with the authors through the platform. So I will show you how this interaction work. But before we jump to the platform, I will talk to you about the literacy skills that we cover, and then also the language skills that we develop through the process. So first, with the literacy skills. So if you see the blue circle down here in the middle, that's what our reading, the reading skills that we bring to the platform will do for us. It's our starting point. So we ask all the students to read the chapter that we release. And then we offer them grammar and vocabulary activities along with reading comprehension activities, such as a quiz, open-ended comprehension questions, debates. We also work on a few other activities to help them with the reading comprehension. Then we also work the ORC. We want them to develop the language, the oral language. We offer some activities to allow them to comprehend the oral language, but also to express themselves, not only with peers, it will be more informal, but also with teachers and with authors. That will have to be like their very formal register of English that they will have to use to talk to the authors. We want them to use a formal level of English to talk to them. And then also we have the written expressions that we offer with the platform, such as the forum, the book reviews, and a few other activities. Regarding the language skills, we guide them through the process through each of the different stages of language development. If they are not ready to fully express themselves with English, we offer them activities that will be more receptive type, such as the audiobooks and the vocabulary and grammar activities and a few oral comprehension activities. And when they are ready to express themselves, they will be able to follow through all the activities that we have for them to produce the language, which will be many. We want them to get to this interaction level where they are able to not only listen to what is being said to them, but also to respond to questions and interact in a dialogue. Yes. Question.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I am Marina. How are you?
Good. How are you, Marina?
I'm very, very fine. Can I ask you something?
Yes.
All these activities, in order for them, in order for us to help them understand vocabulary, grammar, etc., are these activities in the platform?
They are. And okay. I will show you how to access them.
Sorry. Okay, thank you.
No, it's okay. But these type of questions are great. There's we want to reduce your workload. So everything that we propose you to do, we provide you. So there's nothing that you will have to go somewhere else to find, or everything will be there. And the starting point are the books that we have. So if we do grammar and vocabulary, it will go from the chapter that we release. So they will have to go back.
Sorry for interruption. Sorry.
No, I love questions, so feel free to keep asking. So before I go to the platform, I want to show you this graph, that this will be your best friend, because it shows you the 6 steps of our methodology. Everything we do goes around this path. And then when we get to the number 6, we start over. So think about this kind of as a weekly path, but you can also think about life cycles, and I will show you what a life cycle is and how to start using our Fiction Express vocabulary and terminology. Okay, so we talk about life cycles because we have live books that are changing every week with the help of students and the help of authors. That's why they're live, because they continually change through the cycle. Our cycles last 5 weeks. We release 1 chapter per week. That means that all our books last 5 weeks and they have 5 chapters. For chapter 1, which will start this Friday, November 4th, we are going to release the first chapter of the live books. And then we invite all the readers, all students, all teachers to read the chapter. Once they finish reading the chapter, we ask them to vote on how they want the plot to continue. So we give them 3 options, A, B, or C, and they have to make a decision. They have to take the time to think about what will be the best option to continue with the plot of the book. We give them 4 days for voting. So from Friday to Tuesday, they will have time to vote. After they vote, our author will get the most popular option, the most voted option, and he will start, or she will start, writing the following chapter. But not only he will take that most popular option, he or she will also take the ideas from the forum, which is number 3, is where we talk to the author. The forum is an open space. It's safe, it's controlled, and it's monitored, in which the authors will ask questions and the readers will respond. Here they will have to respond based on the analysis of the book, but also personal experiences, because a question might be, have you ever visited a tall building? How did you feel when you were on, at the top? So it will have to be about something in connection with the book, but they also have to bring their own experiences. And that's what makes it meaningful and authentic, that they get to talk about their own experiences. So the author will use the most voted option, plus the opinions and ideas from the forum, and he will write, or she will write, the next chapter. So the following Friday, we release the following chapter, and the cycle starts again. They have to vote and they have to talk to the author through the forum. So these first 3 will be what makes our books the live books. all that exchange of ideas and opinions and interaction with the author. And then the rest of the things are the tools that we give teachers to check for understanding of the text, to continue working on the written expression, to develop oracy among their students. So one of them is Take the Quiz, which is a quiz based on evidence from the chapter. So it's evidence retrieval. You know, they have to go back to the text and find the evidence to be able to answer that quiz. And then the activities and the project that we offer to extend the theme of the book and the ideas of the book, the values of the book. And then we also give teachers all the resources they need to keep track of what the students do, for how many minutes they read, how did they do, how did they score on the quiz, if they voted, if they participated in the forum, etc. So I'm going to translate these 6 steps into what they look like in the platform. So allow me to jump here. I'm going to go to the platform and click on dashboard. So as teachers, you will have access to this dashboard. And from here, you will be able to access the 6 steps that I just showed you. So for the books, we have up here the books that we call live. These are the ones that we are going to start co-creating with the author this coming Friday. The books that already went through that cycle and were co-created with the authors and the students are down here where it says library. So if I click here, discover more, you will be able to see all the books. We have, I think, more than 200 titles now in our library that are original to Fiction Express. They're not translations. They've been written in the native language of the authors that we work with. You can also filter these books by author, by genre, and also by tags. So these tags are based on century 21st topics that fall under the 4 categories that we have aligned with global perspective. So we have a category called Sharing the Planet, another called Human Ingenuity. So I'll show you the 4 categories at the end of this webinar, so you can kind of organize. If you want to just find the books that work on specific themes, like empathy, for example, you click here on empathy, and you will see the books that will have that theme as a central topic. Questions, Marina?
Thank you. The books that have already been uploaded, the kids can go in and read them whenever they want.
Yes. This is our
just
library.
For pleasure.
Read for pleasure. Correct.
Thank you. Because they're definitely going to ask me. I have 2 wonderful kids, and they're definitely going to ask me. That's why I'm asking you. Thank you so much. That was
absolutely. Therefore, reading
so
for pleasure, and then also teachers can assign these books and add them to the recommendation list, or students might add books to their wish list. So let's say they're already reading 2 books at the same time, one for pleasure and one assigned by the teacher, but they come across a book that they want to continue reading after. They can add that to their wish list so they don't forget about it and they read it after. So there's a few tools for that. So I'm gonna talk about the live books here, because these are the ones that get to be co-created with the author. They go through the life cycle. So that means that they have to read, they vote, they have to participate on the forum, and they get to do the activities and projects. And they also have a quiz after reading the chapter. Because they start on Friday, they're not up yet. We don't do anything before the Friday deadline, because we don't want to spoil anything. In case you want to start working with these books now, there is a book synopsis available that you can read out loud to your students, ask questions about what they know about the context, what do they think the book will be about, what do they expect. We also give the teachers the project sheet. So the projects are always connected with the theme of the book, but they are not about the book. They are extensions of the book. So in this case, the book talks about friendship, autonomy, cooperation, honesty, and having initiatives. So the theme here, the project will be in connection with the book, which is about finding the true self but it will be an extension. So it's not about, they don't have to read the chapter in order to complete the activity. We do encourage them to read the book though. So the project is something that we came up with this year, and where they can work collaboratively with a group or another peer, and they are able to use research skills if they have to. So here they have to ask questions to their family members about their personalities. They also have to work in group. They have to do writing pieces. They have to present orally at the end of the project. So look at all the different skills that they will be able to use if they complete the projects. We also have here available for, before we release the book, a video from the author in where the author introduces himself in this case, and also the book. So how did the idea of the book came to life? So this is a great opportunity for students to put a face to the author that they will be talking to. So so it's not somebody they don't know. Do I have a question?
Turn the volume up by one. Hey, Siri. Turn the volume up by one.
Okay. So before I'm going to show you the 6 steps, but I'm not going to be able to do it with a live book because they're not released yet. They will be released this Friday. So I will choose a book from the library, like this one. This is a level 1 book. We have 3 levels of book: level 1, level 2, and level 3, which are aligned to the different levels that you might be familiar with Cambridge. So a level 1, it's aligned to A2 level. A level 2 is aligned to a B1, B2 level, and a level 3, it's a B2 C1 level. If you click on documentation, here there is a reading level chart that you can use as a reference. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to choose that level 1 book, and I'm going to open a chapter to show you how it looks like. So this is what the e-reader looks like. We have some features up here. They can access previous chapters from this shortcut. We also have an audiobook with each chapter. So here they can listen to the text being read out loud. This is great because we work with different authors. The authors read the books to them, and sometimes the intonation is different, expression is different. So we expose students to different dialects and different accents and different intonation types, which is one of my favorite things. Here they can also change the view, 1 or 2 pages. They can make it bigger or smaller. They can change the background, and they can also change the font if they don't like what they see. So they also have an interactive glossary embedded with the book. So if they click on the underlined words, these are the words that we use to expand their vocabulary. We want them to always, we want them to be challenged with the, vocabulary wise, and we want them to not lose the track of what they're reading. It's always good to go back to a dictionary and find the definition, but we want them to focus on what they're doing. So that's why we give them the definitions here. They can click on them and get a definition in context, so they don't get frustrated, but they are still learning new vocabulary. So when they finish reading, they click on vote. And that's our step number 2. They have to vote on how the plot continues. Now, this book is already finished. This is a book from the library. We still give them the option to vote, even though it's a fake voting, because there's really nothing to decide here. Chapter 4 has already been written. We still give them this because it's fun. They can reveal the winner to see what the author used for chapter 4. And this is where I want to stop for a minute, because here you have 2 options. You can do these as an individual activity. You can ask your students to just choose one and vote, or you can do this as a debate, as a class discussion, and use this oral language opportunity to really help them form their ideas and opinions that they will later share on the forum. So this is like a pre-step for the forum as well. I'll show you here on the activities packet. You can see that we give you discussion guide that you can use to open up this debate in class. So it's the same options, A, B, and C. It's the same thing that you see here. So I always encourage teachers, if this is your first time using fiction, do the voting as a class debate. Hear their thoughts. See if they're understanding the text correctly. And then make sure that they're not copying somewhere else, someone else. Oh, I'm voting B just because my friend is also voting B. No, allow them to form their thoughts and their ideas. It's a great opportunity. Do I have any questions? Okay, so I'm going to keep going. So here, when they decide what they want to vote, they click. And here I see that the most popular option was B, the one I press. Why do we show them? Because this book has already been released. So there's nothing to spoil or nothing to hide, because chapter 4 is also available and they can go and read it. If this were a live book and today is Wednesday, I won't be able to see what the most popular option was until Friday, because I have to wait until Friday. We do it to promote the wish to read the chapter, the wish to find out which option won. Did the one I vote for was the one selected? I really want to see what the author will do with the next chapter. So we're doing that thing with the live book for them to wait with anxiety about what the next chapter will be about. So this is what reading and voting looks like. I'm going to show you the quiz that goes with this chapter. So the quiz, I told you it's based on evidence. You can use it as an assessment, but this is really a tool to check comprehension. We want them to see if they really understood the chapter that they just read. They can also click here, read again, and they can access the chapter, and they will be able to see the chapter and the questions next side to side. So they can really read the question and the options, go back to the text and find the evidence. So we think that doing it that way will encourage them to learn that skill about going back to the text and find the evidence they need to respond. Yes, question.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, please don't feel sorry.
Since you are doing this very wonderful presentation, and I was thinking the kids are going to have application about fiction, an application with okay, I know they're going to have some username and password, so they can use it as an application, as a URL, as
it's web-based, so they will have to go to a website.
Yes.
And they will use a username and a 4-digit password to access the platform. So it's not Perfect. An app.
Yes.
It's not an app, because we don't know what type of tablet you use, if it's an Apple or if it's Android. So instead of asking you to download something, it's just web-based. Everything is stored there from your teacher account. You get to see what they do, but they access. I'll show you a student platform once I finish, so you can see how similar to the teacher platform it looks like.
we for the first time, the very first time that, for example, we're in the classroom and we have to get to know with them the platform, so to show them the platform. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, so you will be able to if you want, you can project these and do the quiz together the first time, just to model how to do it. And then for the following week, they might do the quiz by themselves on their devices.
Yes.
This is something that you can also assign for homework.
I mean, just for the very first time, just to know what they are going to do, just that, for the very, very first time.
Yes. What ages are your students?
14 to 15 years old.
So if you model for them the first time, do you think the second time they'll be able to do them?
Oh, yes, they're very
by themselves.
So
yeah,
they are very familiar.
Okay.
Very, very familiar with that stuff, especially the one is a programmer. He's programming stuff.
Yes.
Thank you. So that's what I want you to know.
I will model. Absolutely.
take
And
it.
keep
Yes.
the questions coming. Okay. So the quiz, they get a question per page, so we don't overload them with information. They have to choose the option that they think answers correctly. And when they finish, I will show you, I will change my screen because I want to show you what they see. So here is what they see. This is a student view. So when they finish, the answers are hidden. So they don't see what were the correct answers and which ones were the incorrect ones, because we don't want them to share until you, the teacher, decides that it's time to share the right answers. So in case you want to give the quiz as a homework assignment, you can do it. They can take the quiz from home, but then they won't be able to share the correct answers to one another until they come back to school for the next class, and you make the answers visible, and you can go through the questions with them, or just the ones they miss as a group or something like that. But this is a new feature that we have because we understand that now more teachers want to assign the quizzes for homework or when they are not in class. Okay, so this is something you can keep in mind that you can do. So when they finish doing this, I am doing it from a teacher account. So let me move this here. So here, because I'm doing it from my teacher account, I do get to see the answers because I'm the teacher and I have the power to see them. Okay, but students won't be able to see the answers right away until you make them visible. So if I go back to my 6 steps here, I show you how they do the reading, the voting, and the quiz. So now I'm gonna go back 1 step, and I'm gonna access the forum. I want to show you here. These are the forums from our last books. They are closed now because the forum is a live tool that the author uses to collect ideas for the creation of the books. So I will show you a forum from let's see, the book that I was just showing you. This forum is closed. A few things to observe here. You have a short biography of the author that they're talking to along with the picture. You can also access the video of the author so they can see, who they're talking to and put a face to him. There's also a set of rules that we provide teachers with to discuss what makes this space safe and appropriate. Here you have to think that this is a global community, so readers from around the globe are using this forum to share ideas and opinions, but they also have to be respectful because they're talking to an author, but also they might find comments that they don't agree with, and that's okay. We can have different opinions, but we have to learn how to respect the different opinions. So here I'll show you, we have the topics that are closed. The authors post a comment every two or 3 days, maybe more, maybe 4 days, but every week we change the topics here. Students have to choose an alias, so there's no private information here, no real names, no personal information at all. But we do see where they're writing from. So we see the flag from where they are contributing. Here you can see that they respond to the question up here. It says, some activities can be scary. What's the scariest thing you've done? So here we are collecting ideas for the following chapter, but we are also talking about a personal experience. We also let you know what type of text is expected from your students. So at the time to assess what they're doing, you know what is expected from them. They have to talk about a personal experience here. The author is also replying to the students. You can see that there's a little icon of a pen. That's the author responding. I want to show you a few things here. We have messages that are longer than others. They're always using a formal level of English. They are using the written expression. I want to go 1 more page so I show you here. Am I on the wrong page? Yes, here. So I want to show you here that we have comments, author replying to the comments as well. And we see here a purple ribbon. So here, this is an example of a certificate that the author gives to outstanding contributions to the forum. So this is something that encourages students to participate and to convey the message correctly to the author, so they can be chosen as outstanding contributions and receive a certificate. The certificate can be printed, and also if they get one of these, they get invited to a conversation with the author when the book is finished. So they get to see him, in this case, Damien Harvey. They get to ask questions to the author as well. They get to ask questions about what is the life, or how is the life of a writer, you know, as an adult writer. So they're really nice meetings. Do we have a question? Yes, Marina.
Yes, thank you. About the rules, if
Yes.
someone makes really nasty comments, or someone is disrespect, I'm not talking about my kids, I want to know in general, what
Yes.
happens in this situation?
Perfect question. Perfect. Okay, it's perfect, because about safety, we have a few filters that run automatically. So they're based on artificial intelligence, and they filter inappropriate comments based on words that we already put on that filter. But we also have live moderators. We have 2 people that work for us that read every single comment that comes through. So if they come out something that it's inappropriate, we invalidate the comment, but you as a teacher still receives the comment from the student. So I'll show you an example. So I am the teacher of this class, and I can see here that my students participated in the comment on the forum. Here, Kathy responded to this question here. I expect to see a discussion type of text, and now I can read the comment and see if it's an appropriate answer. So if I believe that this is okay and it's an appropriate answer, and the moderators also thought, because it's not invalidated, then it's a good comment to be on the forum. If it's something that I see as, oh, there's a lot of spelling mistakes and I don't really want that comment to be like that, you can edit the comment with the student. So you have that tool as well. Now, if it's something that comes invalidated from our end, we give you the reason why we think it's inappropriate. So for example, here it says inappropriate words used. So we already give you the reason why invalidated. You can still edit the comment as a teacher, make it better, and then publish it with your student. You can also invalidate comments yourself. So here I have one that it's okay, it's validated, it's appropriate, but I want to invalidate because one of these reasons. You might select it's lack of respect, it's copied from another comment, or you know, it's the wrong language, or it's not taking it seriously. Sometimes things happen within your classroom that we're not aware of because we're not there. So it might be something internal that we don't recognize as inappropriate, but when you look at the comment, you feel that that comment shouldn't be there. So you can also invalidate a comment on your end. Okay, if you invalidate comments, those comments will never see the light on the forum. You know, they will never be published. Okay, so that's why we also validate all the teacher accounts that we have. Even with the free trials, we ask teachers to validate. We want to make sure everybody here is a teacher or a student and that they're taking it seriously. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much. Yes, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, so regarding the forum, I think I am going to move on to the activities. We're almost there, we're almost done, but for the activities, I'm going to stick with the same book. I will show you a chapter 3 activity set. So here, let me go back to the beginning. We have one activity set for every chapter that they read. So I just show you a chapter 3 for this book. So now the activities will be with reading, writing, and talking skills, and then the project sheet for the week. So here we always provide you with guided reading notes to help with comprehension. If you do small reading groups or students that need a little bit of help with understanding the chapter, we also give you open-ended comprehension questions. We know we have the quiz, but the quiz is multiple choice, ABC. So here we really want them to be able to use the written language to express their ideas, to make prediction, to draw conclusions. We want them to use the high order thinking skills here and show you what they know about the book. We also give you vocabulary and grammar activities with each chapter. So here we talk about joining clauses, really fun grammar activity. The talking options for the voting of the voting choices are always included in each weekly packet. And then we always give you the project template for the weekly task of the project. Hopefully you remember that the project is this that I show you, and they are an extension of the theme of the book, and they have to complete a weekly task in order to come up with a final project. I was in the classroom. I was lucky to be a teacher for more than 20 years, and the hands-on activities were my favorite. The collaborative, where they had to talk and search for a consensus and agreements, and the presentation skills are some that it's not easy to do. So here you have a project that will involve a set of different type of skills to work on. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. I'm going to show you how I keep track of what my students do. I click on my students tracking, and here I get to see what my students have been doing with the last book. Here I can see the reading times for how long they've been reading. I can also see the quiz results. I can see if they voted, which is this light blue box, tells me if they voted on the light book. I can also see how many comments on the forum they posted. So here I can see that Belinda has not participated in the forum so far, so I can go and talk to her and encourage her to do it. I can also make decisions based on the evidence I gathered from this chart. Here I see that Kathy has been struggling with the quiz, which is telling me that it might be a really hard level for her. So an instructional decision that I made here was to move her to a lower level book to see if that will help with comprehension. I can also make other decisions, like here, she's been getting 9s and 10s on the quiz and reading with average time. So I can move her up a level for the upcoming life cycle. So this data will give you a lot of evidence to make instructional decisions. You can also click on each of these little boxes and you will access more information. So here I can see for the quiz of chapter 2, how each of my students did. I can open up their quizzes and find patterns. Here I see that question number 6 was failed for more than half of my class. So I might want to revisit that question with the whole class. I can also access different chapter quizzes. From up here, I can also see their book reviews, which I haven't mentioned yet, but the book reviews are at the end of the book, when the system recognizes that all 5 chapters of the books have been read, they get to write an argumentative type of review that the author will get, and they get to rate the book. How many stars will you give this book? And then the authors can see that, and they can also read this. And this is a great opportunity for you as teachers to close this life cycle, because you can mark here, you can give them a grade. And soon, I think with this next cycle, you will be also able to include a little comment about this book review. So in order for them to do a book review, they get to follow some argumentative structures that we also give them. We give them a guide on how to do it on the platform as well. So if we ask them to do an argumentative type of book review, we give them the tools to do it. And that's pretty much everything I have. I will send all of you, I think through Constantina, I wanted to share this document that shows the alignment within, of our platform with Cambridge examinations, and how we work together to successfully, allow them to participate in the certifications and pass them. We do align with all the language requirements. We also focus on building this international mindset. So we do it through the topics of the books that we have. I talked to you about the 4 categories, but here they are, the 4 of them, and then these are the tags that you see on our platform, so you can filter books based on those keywords. And then the last part of this document is how we meet the assessment criteria for each of the certifications that Cambridge offers our students. So I will send this document so you can all have it. It will also be on documentation area of the platform very soon, but so you have it today. I will send it to Constantina for you. And now I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to answer questions. If you have. While I wait for questions to come, you can use your microphone to ask me. You can use the chat. I hope that you are able to see how cohesively we use the reading to continue, you know, all the activities that follow based on reading comprehension, the written expression through the forum, the book review, the projects and activities, and also ORC, the oral language, which is really when you see that they master the language. We don't want them to just learn the language. We want them to master it. We want them to interact with it, to be able to talk to friends in a social way, but we also want them to talk to adults, do presentations about certain topics, talk to professional authors with a high level of English. And that's why we do what we do. And how we do it. So let's see if we have. Yes, Marina.
Hi again.
Hello.
Can we please repeat? You showed us a few minutes ago the comprehension, all these sheets that. Where, yes, exactly. Where do we find this? Where?
Very good. So here from the dashboard, you have all of these options here. Activities.
Yes. Activities.
Is the one where you will go.
Okay.
So here with the live books that we are releasing on Friday, you will also only find the project sheet so far. On Friday, when we release the first chapter, you will see chapter 1 activity set here. And then the following Friday, chapter 2, and the following chapter. Now, for the library books, because they have been done and finished, you get them all down here. So all of these, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, are the activity sets for that book. So for the missing hour, you have all of them here. Yes.
Can they print them?
Yes, yes. These are PDFs that you can download, you can print, you can upload to other platforms like Google Classroom if you use anything like that where you assign homework or activities to them, because it's a PDF file. So yes, you can download.
Just for the activities. That's for the activities. I would rather them to print that stuff. Yes, exactly. So, it's better to use their hands because it's in connection with their brain. It's better for me. I don't know for them. I will ask them. I for one, not everybody. I for one. Thank you so much. By far. Yeah. And you said you're gonna send us all this material. It's gonna be very useful for me at least.
Yes, everything for the activities is on the platform, but I will show you this one pager that I was showing you because it's just one page where you get all that alignment with Cambridge examinations. And if it's something that you do through your centers and your schools, then it will be worth having it handy there for you. So yes.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yes, and
wonderful.
Don't worry. Thanks. Yes. So I'll go back to the 6 steps. Hopefully you can see the reading, the voting, the talking, the quiz, the activities and the projects, and then how you can measure all of that information from the teacher panel. The ORC skills, not only during the voting stage. That's a really good question. ORC is also practiced during the projects and activities. So when they are completing the task, the weekly tasks that they have, they do need to talk to peers about the activities. These are not supposed to be individual. although you can make them individual, we foster collaboration. We want them to work. I think this one, especially this one, school swap project, I think it's in pairs. So there's ORC there as well happening with, I mentioned the search for consensus and getting to an agreement, because in order for them to move forward with the project, they have to be on the same page. So that search for consensus will be also consider ORC, and ORC part of the program. And then also, if you think about when they, I have teachers that I work with that are, before allow them to participate in the forum, they also do or bring the question to the classroom, because their students might not be ready to jump onto the forum and write right away. They first have to talk about the question in group, search for ideas, brainstorm, and then go to the forum and post their comment. So that's another opportunity for oral language. Absolutely. I missed the beginning of the seminar. So I think this seminar is being recorded. So I think the information will be sent to you, and you can see the webinar as many times as you can, as you want. But yes, thank you for asking that.
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
Will we have a demo code, or do we already have a demo code to see the program before Friday?
Yes, you have. I think Constantina might know that. I think that all of you have access to a demo right now until the end of the month, but I might be wrong. I'm gonna let, yeah, because I think that you should all have access to it right now. I think if you go to, have you registered already for an account?
I think no.
Okay, so we will let you know. I think that everybody here should have access to a demo site right now. But I'm gonna write your name down so we make sure. Okay.
Maria, yes, we have activated all the central the email that they use in their school.
Okay. Okay. So you might have an email that you have to follow the instructions to register for the free account.
Yes, they have, all of you have received an email with a link in order to activate the account and create a password. So if you don't have this email, please call me to activate your account.
Okay, thank you.
Very important. You need to have access before Friday to enjoy chapter 1. Marina. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Something you said something really important when you talked about one of your students, which was struggling with level 2, and you moved her to level 1, I think. Yes. Okay. I have two strong students, but just in case I had a classroom that some of them were really strong, but 1 or 2 of them weren't that strong and they were struggling. What shall I do in such situations? Should I go on with the same stuff, or should I move 1 or 2 students to another level? Is that appropriate? I think not in my case, but I'm asking in general, yes, because I really want to know.
Yeah, from what I see, if I usually don't recommend keeping them on one level if they already show you that they are mastering that level. Give them something more challenging, because then you want them to learn with it, right? To challenge themselves with what they're reading and with the activity. So think about, even if they're reading a higher level, they're still doing the same activities. They're talking to the author, they're taking a quiz, they're participating on the forum and voting, but with a different level text. So with a level 3 in that case. If you're not sure, let them be on the same level and then collect evidence from 2 cycles. If you see that for 2 cycles of books, they are mastering that level and they are getting on the quizzes more than grades that are higher than 8 consistently, I will move them, because then they will get bored, with reading something that is too easy for them.
Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. But regarding how to start with the platform, I will say start little, little by little. Ask them to read and vote with you. And once you see that they vote correctly and they share ideas, start adding the quiz with them and model how to do a quiz for them. Allow them to do a quiz in class with you. Assign the quiz for homework, and then bring the forum into the class. And then that way you help them on building routines that are strong, good foundations. And then you can start doing those activities from outside the classroom time, and just use the classroom time for things such as the projects and activities that will give you more evidence of mastering the language. I recommend doing debates in class, the projects in class, collaborative work in class, so you can see how they're learning, how they're thinking, and interacting with the language at different steps. Well, I think this is it. It's been longer than I expected, but thank you so much for the questions. I hope that you engage with fiction starting on Friday with this new book cycle that we have. And feel free to contact us if you have questions about the platform or how to use something, or, just for anything. We are always available. Always try to make ourselves available for the teachers using the platform.